The book I did by Sharon Creech is Fine Fine School. And this book is about a school where they all go Monday through Friday, and their principal's name is Mr. Keene. So Mr. Keene, throughout the book, will keep saying, "Isn't this a fine, fine school? And aren't these fine, fine children and fine, fine teachers?" So he thinks that throughout the book, while the students keep learning and gaining new information, that it'd be good if they went to school all the time. So at first, he starts by making them go to school on Saturdays, which the children and the teachers do not appreciate. And then he makes them go on Sundays, so they're going for a full week now. And then eventually, he makes it so they're going all year long. And the children and the teachers do not like this because they're missing on outside experiences that do not have to deal with school. So the character in the book is Tilly, and she is missing out on hanging out with her little brother and her dog and teaching them new things throughout days, which is she would do on Saturday and on Sunday. She would teach him how to swing and she would teach him how to skip. Also, she wanted to teach her dog how to sit and how to jump over a creek. And she said she can't possibly do that if she is going to school every single day for the whole year. So no one has the determination or guts to stand up to Mr. Keene and tell him that they don't want this. They don't know how to tell him they don't want this because he seems so excited about the idea. But eventually, one day, when he decides that he's going to make it a full year school program, that Tilly goes into his classroom and gives him examples and says, "Not everybody is learning." And Mr. Keene is concerned. So he asks, "How is that so? Everybody is in school." And she said that her brother is not learning how to skip or to swing, and her dog is not learning how to sit or jump over a creek. And I liked that part of the book because I feel like in a lesson I could teach the kids that even though school is very important for everybody to learn education and to get higher in knowledge, you still have to enjoy the things that are outside of school. Which, even though you're not learning about, maybe you're not learning about numbers or reading when you're outside of school, but you're learning life lessons. Like if you're climbing a tree, like she says, and you fall, get back up and try it again. Just keep going. So I feel like kids would be missing out on these lessons, and I would want to see how my students would feel if they had to go to school on Saturdays and Sundays, which I'm assuming they would not want to do. So what I would want to do is have everybody in the class get into groups and have them discuss how they would feel if they had to go to school on Saturdays and Sundays. And when they came up with that, I would have them give their ideas to the class and explain why they wouldn't want to go. And I'm assuming most of them would be like because they want free time to go hang out with their friends and stuff like that. And that's fine, but I would try to show them that one of the biggest reasons of getting those days off is a mental break to do things that you enjoy to clear your mental space because you can't always just be working. You can't be working constantly because it's not healthy. You need time for yourself to think about yourself and to better yourself in other places besides education. Another point that I would make to my students is that if there's something that is bothering you and that you don't like, it is okay to voice your opinion, even if it's to a higher power. Because the only way to switch things and to correct things that you don't like, even if in the end it doesn't happen, is to voice your opinion. And say Mr. Keene said, "No, we're still going to school a full year or whatever," you could still at least you voice your opinion and you tried. So you can have that gratitude to go along with it. But in the end, if you're not trying to deal with your problems and bringing them out into the light, then they're just going to stay there and they're not going to go anywhere. And I want my students to realize that, and I would want them to know that if there's something they don't like in my classroom, they always can come to me and ask questions or give out suggestions, and I will take them into consideration. And I feel like that's very important for a classroom environment is to have your students trust you and realize that they have some input on how they are learning or what they are learning at different times and sort of things like that. Another thing I would do with my class is maybe there's an alternative instead of going on Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe he can have programs on Saturdays and Sundays where if you want to go and learn extra information or get maybe even do scientific research or things like that, just anything different. Go in and do different experiments just for fun, but you're also learning educational purposes too. Then you can come up with different ideas. So say a program from 9 to 10 on a Saturday where you go in and you watch a teacher do experiments or things sort of that, or they teach a lesson on history. And if you want to join, then perfect, you can join. But if you don't want to, then you don't have to. But at least you have the choice to do so instead of being forced into that where you weren't ever before. Now, the standards that I think would go along with this book are craft and structure, PKR4, exhibit an interest, and learning new vocabulary. And I only chose that one just because throughout the book it says in a lot of the pages Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It doesn't say the week. It actually says the days of the week. So the students are starting to get that put into their mind and they can learn the days of the week, maybe even how to spell them even easier. And then the second standard that I think would go with it, integration of knowledge and ideas, and that is KR9, make connections between self, text, and the world. And I chose that standard just because this could relate to students because they're in school right now, and this book is talking about going to school for a full period of time. So I would want to see how my students would feel about doing so, and in return, they would discuss it with their classmates, and we get a good group discussion going about different opinions and ideas. Thank you.